listening to the Fantasy Alarm MLB DFS podcast with hosts John Impemba and James Grande.
What is going on, everybody? John Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome to the Better Baseball MLB DFS Playbook podcast here. We're recording for the early slate on Wednesday. We got 5 games, maybe, kicking off at 1:05 Eastern Time. More rain in the forecast here for this 5-gamer. So we'll be paying attention to that as we get close to the Ross Log. That's been the story really of the last 2 weeks, it feels like here. I know that Tuesday night slate had some weather warnings on it. We know Monday slate had some weather warnings there. So here we are Wednesday afternoon, 1:05. Just 5 games, but a couple games. Baltimore Dodgers and Houston Rockies. A couple of games we're going to be monitoring the rain, the forecast there for those games. But with this being a 5-gamer, James, it'll be a little bit of a quick show here, but don't worry. We'll be back live at 5 o'clock Eastern, breaking down the 8-game main slate. So don't fear, we'll be there. I'll have the playbook out for everybody there as well. So just getting you all ready. If you want to play a little day baseball, James and I are here for you today. James, not only do we have some DFS, but also a little DFS pick'em games over at Real Time Fantasy Sports. Why don't you tell the people what they can get over at Real Time Fantasy Sports today?
Yeah, so the Pick'em promo they have going on at Real Time Sports is a daily Pick'em contest, and what you have to do is set a lineup of player props, and if you hit them all, you win. It's that simple, unless you use their mulligan option, which they do have on tap, and that's a nice addition. They have baseball, golf, basketball, football, and more. You go to rtsports.com/alarm, and first-time depositors get a 100% instant match up to $200 using code ALARM23. That is rtsports.com/alarm. Use code ALARM23, all one word, and first-time depositors get a 100% instant match up to $200. Please play responsibly. For help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Open Championship is Thursday. You're watching this here Wednesday morning. There's a good chance that my RT Sports DFS Pick'em plays for the Open Championship are already out there and posted. Go to the Fantasy Alarm YouTube. Go to the Fantasy Alarm Twitter, Better Sports Twitter, Better Sports YouTube. They will be posted there, getting you all ready for the Open Championship, the 151st Open Championship there, James. Golf's greatest, oldest? I think it's their oldest championship. So got that going on here. So RT Sports now aside, let's turn our attention on over to the DraftKings main slate. Just 5 games, so it'll be a little bit of a quick show here today, but don't worry, we'll be in the Discord if you have any questions. So will Dan Servadidio, so will Justin Vreeland being in there to help answer your early slate questions. Let's get into the slate. Let's take a little look at Vegas here, James. Talking about the 5 games, any spreads or totals we should be paying attention to?
Yeah, I mean, anytime Coors is on a slate, right, there's, immediately reaction. I mean, 13 is what the over-under has opened.
I was going to say, we have double digits here, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, it opened at 12. It's at 13 over on FanDuel Sportsbook, 12.5 in other places. So large number there. Austin Gomber versus Brayan Bello is the pitching matchup. 9 implied runs in Dodgers, Orioles, 8.5 in Red Sox, Oakland. So there's some good totals, some good spreads, some good game environments that we're taking a look at here on this 5-gamer.
Yep. There isn't really a ton of great pitching, though. Brayan Bello will be your ultra chalk. Maybe this is a FanDuel day. Maybe this is a day we all just take our bankrolls, we go play on FanDuel, but DraftKings nonetheless is what we're looking at. So Brayan Bello is $9,100 going against Oakland. Chalk, plug him in. On a 5-game slate against Oakland, with the way Brayan Bello's been pitching, 70% rostership, do you think?
He's going to be pretty popular,
right? It's got to be. I mean, just looking at the other matchups here, I mean, my guess is Brayan Bello and Brayan Bello are the 2 starting pitchers most people build around today.
I mean, I don't know if the Bello thing, because he's in Coors. Like, I would say that you'd probably be right in most instances, but not in Coors. Like, I still think people would get to Sandy at 8,400.
Big price bump, obviously, for Sandy after being under 7K for a little bit. Obviously, again, small slate, they had to do something with his price tag. Yeah, it's just a scary proposition, but you're probably
I mean,
right.
what's more scary, Sandy at 84 against a team that's collapsed, or Brandon Belak pitching in Coors Field? I'm gonna go with the latter, because
Yeah, I
even like
guess.
Brandon Belak hadn't even been all that good going into this start. He's not really striking people out anymore. He's kind of
I guess I looked at the fact that he just faced this team and shut them out over 7 innings. Now, again, that was in Houston, not in Coors, so obviously a different spot there. But I mean, like Urias against Baltimore, it doesn't feel like a great spot. Obviously, he just shut out the Mets the other day.
right.
It could be a double spend day, but again, Baltimore's got some really good hitters there, especially some guys that can hit lefties. Gray has just fallen off a cliff lately. Now he's got Tampa. I don't know if we want to be chasing that. We mentioned Alcantara. Kramer, who you liked the other day, pitched well, came through against Miami. Kudos on you on that call. Does he do it against the Dodgers?
Scary.
Risky. Dakota Hudson, rather. I guess is this an opener play? Like
He used to start, so I'm assuming he's working his way back.
He's been piggybacking, so I mean, like I guess we'll find out. Chris Wall, Waldichuk, Gomber, like it's 5 games, not a lot to pick from here. Maybe you just close your eyes and, like you said, Sandy's the best pitcher value in the spot that maybe does the least damage, but like Goldschmidt and Arenado are still on that roster, so
yeah, but like that's not enough for me to like not play Sandy on this slate if it's just Goldschmidt and Arenado doing most of the damage. And I know Brendan Donovan's been good and Nootbaar's been okay, but they've largely been average. I bet people get to Julio Urias here coming off back-to-back good starts. I know it's a tough spot, but like he's pitched really well.
Yeah. And he's a really good pitcher.
Really I think ultimately at the end of the day, like he had been pitching poorly. He's now back to like full capacity in terms of pitch count, and he's won back-to-back starts.
It's also a day baseball game. Like Baltimore could sit Bradley, could sit
Gunnar against a lefty. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly
So good. Yeah, I agree. So I think we're probably in agreement here. Our pitcher pool: Bello, Urias, Alcantara, and I still think Belak is in there, but nobody else though, right? Like that's,
no.
That's it. All right, over on I'm building my lineup as we go here because this is going to be an easy way to finish this off. Catcher spot, and talk to me about it. Some top options here, but again, smaller slate. So, is it as simple as plugging Yanier Diaz in here against Austin Gomber and moving on?
I mean, he's been really good specifically against righties. He's been really, really bad against lefties, but it's Coors, so he gets a bump. I think Francisco Mejia is definitely interesting. I think maybe a punt is Martin Maldonado, who has hit lefties specifically well. I know the only probably other time I've ever mentioned him, he had a home run on this podcast.
He did, yeah.
Maybe
you're like his ISO against lefties. Look out!
Maybe Lightning will strike twice here, John. But I think it's like the player pool is like very limited. It's the Houston guys.
Jonah Heim, maybe.
Yeah. And I would take a look at Mejia because you did mention like he's homered. First off, he's homered twice out of the break in 3 games, and John Gray has gone from really good to really bad in a really quick turnaround.
Yeah.
So.
Our guy Justin Vreeland would have tweeted out the other day after his last start, basically breaking down the starts. Not good. Not good.
No.
All right. So what catch are we locking in here then? You like Mejia?
Yeah, I think Mejia is a good value here, especially if we're playing 2 of the most expensive pitchers on the slate.
Sure. Obviously, we'll readjust as we move along here, but catcher is one I think we can just kind of settle in on early. First base position: Freeman up top, Goldie, Luke Raley against John Gray could be an interesting spot here. Justin Turner continues to hit. It'll be interesting to see. Rafael Devers hasn't played in the series yet. Apparently dealing with a calf cramp or something. So
yeah, sore calf is what they reported.
Yeah, so we'll see if Devers is in or out of the lineup. I wouldn't imagine they will play him against Oakland because you don't need him to. So why stress that? So Turner here against Waldichuk feels like a pretty strong play. Nathaniel Lowe against Chris Wall here. Abreu in Coors against Gomber. So some good mid-tier range if you're not looking to basically play Freeman.
Yeah, I think Turner's an elite play here. He's one of the best Red Sox against left-handed pitching. 4,300. He's come into this game scorching hot as well. And then Jose Abreu for me, who's $3,600 in cores, gets a lefty, has been pretty good outside of that Ofer in LA since the break. And he has been good for like a large part of the last
slowly waking up,
yeah.
but getting
7 of 8 home runs on the road too, and now gets the cores bump. So I would say there's like really 3 guys for me at first base.
Yeah, I'm with you. There's really not much else down here for
Interesting
me.
to see Soderstrom now at first, by the way, just so.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't really playing him at catcher. He just was like a catcher by prospect.
Henry Davis.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like, oh, they're a catching prospect, but they don't play catcher. Well,
right.
now they don't. I agree with you though. Probably gonna land on Turner or Abreu when we build our lineup at the end here. Second base, Mookie's still there. Simeon's up at top. Maybe on a site like this, you would take a look at Luis Urias just because, like, guaranteed points at second.
He's only hitting 300 his last 10, though, John.
I know. He's really struggling. Brandon Lau, if he can pick the right day for a homer, maybe today, he's fallen off, just completely fallen off.
Yep.
I know you've liked Donovan and Gorman in the past. Dubon there against the lefty at 4,100. So some interesting second base options here to look at.
Yeah, I mean, I do like Brendan Donovan, even though Alcantara is on the mound. Brendan Donovan's been really awesome lately. He's still really cheap. He's going to lead off. He's been DHing exclusively, too, so he'll just focus on hitting. If we're going down, if you're going to play, like if we're playing Red Sox, like Christian Arroyo at 2,800 is pretty good against left-handed bats. He's been pretty good lately, too, over 300 his last 10 games.
He's basically won his job because the Red Sox are likely soon DFAing Kiki Hernandez.
Yep.
And Arroyo was somebody that was also kind of on the roster bubble, and he's just outperformed because Trevor Story is starting his rehab assignment this week. Okay. So Story on the way. Arroyo is going to fall into that utility role, and Kike more than likely getting bounced or traded by next week. So.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say I blame the Red Sox at this point because Kike is, I mean, we know at this point, I mean, horrible.
He's useless. He leads the league in errors and he can't hit. So
he's horrible. So yeah, I would get to Arroyo as a spend down. I don't think there's really anything else.
I agree. We'll see. It's going to be an interesting Boston lineup with a lefty. We know Ref Snyder is going to be in that lineup.
Yep, true.
So we'll see how all that plays out. Third base. Arenado, Gunnar, Bregman. We'll see if Devers plays. I don't imagine he does. Where are you looking at the top of this group? Maybe McMahon if you're not in on Bielak?
Yeah, I think Bregman. It's probably the 2 guys here in Coors Field. I'm trying to look up what we have for Criswell splits because we haven't really mentioned Rangers, and I don't know if that's a mistake yet or not.
I agree. I briefly passed by Nathaniel Lowe. Simeon's
he was cheap. Did you see Nathaniel Lowe's price too?
41. I think.
No, I think he's 38. I think he was under. He's 3,700.
Yeah, 37. Yeah.
So I was just looking up to see if we have anything on Criswell in terms of splits because, I mean, if the Rangers are going to be cheap, and I said it last week to you, like they should all be over 4K, and now we're getting guys like price depressed, like. Josh Young is now down to 4,600. I mean, Simeon and Seager are still like a gajillion. It looks like
we lost the Ezekiel Duran second base eligibility.
One day. That's all we got. We just got one slate. One day. Literally one slate. So, I mean, I'm not against getting to Josh Young either because he's cheap. Okay, here's Cooper Criswell. Hold on. Just give me 1 second. Is splits this year. So he's getting tagged by everybody, John. Righties are hitting 306 against Cooper Criswell, 354 Boba, 468 slug, just to, drive home the Rangers point a little bit.
We're not afraid to play Texas. That's for sure.
No.
So yeah, Young, fine. McMahon, Bregman in play for some power potential there. No real value. They sent Aranda back down.
Yep.
I know he's not playing, but he's like one of their top prospects. So like,
Yeah, especially when they've struggled. They've
right?
been
Like
like
at some
so
point,
bad.
then you just kind of like see what he can do. Like, I mean, he's got crazy AAA numbers. So, again, smaller slate, so fewer options to choose from here. I'm not interested on the Tampa Bay side.
I would probably play Paredes.
Okay, just for power.
Just for power, just with how bad John Gray's been.
Sure. Shortstop, Seager. Again, I paid up for Seager on tonight's slate.
Yeah, it feels good.
$6,200. I mean, every time I click his last 10 games, he's hitting 350 with 1,000 OPS. So he's not slowing down.
Yeah.
Certainly can play Wander. That's fine. I'll probably steal a couple bags against Gray. Pena.
If he gets on.
That's true. We got to bench him again. See if we can turn around.
No. Since they benched him, it's been all bad for Tampa. Nobody can figure out what they're doing.
You got to double jinx the jinx,
Okay.
Yeah. Pena, we talked about Dubon already. And then it really drops off. I mean,
terrible position.
There's nothing down here.
Joey Wendell? Yu Chang? Last time we had Yu Chang in the starting lineup.
Mark
It was a lefty.
Yu Chang, then fine. Wendell, maybe. I mean, not terrible.
I was sitting on a beach getting a message from you saying, Yu Chang, God damn it, Mark.
Yeah.
He had a 2 RBI single.
Single, yeah. Yeah.
Second inning or whatever it was.
The guy Connor Wong was struck out with the bases loaded, hitting 8th. And then Yu Chang came up hitting 9th.
2-run single, rips a 2-run single, yeah.
Yeah, absolute nightmare.
I would say Pena, if not going up to Seager, would probably be.
I would agree with you. Pena and Seager to the top 2. Outfield options for this one. I would still play Tucker. That's fine.
He hits lefties better this year. He's been hitting lefties better than he's hit righties.
And again,
dude,
just unconscious the way he's playing right now.
Unconscious. You play him when he's like this, though. He does this every year. Every year he does this.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good player.
He's a very good
player. Any of those guys up over 5K, I'm in on. JD, Adolis, Rosarena, Tucker Betts. I know it's not really the best of analysis being like, you can play them all, but it's 5 games.
You can. Yeah, you
can. You can. You can figure it out. Santander, Power, even though Urias is a much higher quality of starter than we usually throw Baltimore against, but the Power is there against lefties. Mentioned Luke Riley at first base, like him in the outfield. Yoshida can hit lefties, not really too worried about that. Duvall can hit lefties.
Yep.
Not really too worried about that.
And Waldichuk, and that's what Waldichuk's MO is, serves up the long ball.
Serves up the long ball.
Yep.
So Nolan Jones, I like that. 4K, Nolan Jones.
Yeah, if they play this freaking kid, at least he's getting at bats out of the break. They were Chris Bryant came back and they were like, all right, Nolan, get up to the pine. It's like, oh yeah, what a confidence booster that must be for the last place team in the division not playing like your best prospect.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Great job.
Yeah, I was at homers in 2 of the last 3 games. So.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm totally in. There's no reason that he's not playing over Profar or anyone like that.
Mentioned the Texas guys. They're down here still. Duran's 34. Leotis is 31.
Dude, it's so
Janikowski's 28.
Best value of the day, Chas McCormick, 3,300.
Yep.
I don't know I mean, dude, he is white hot. Scorching hot earth right
dude, he's been great for most of the season. 280, 11 bombs. I mean,
9 stolen bases too. Yeah. He's great.
Yep. I know Jolk's actually better against righties, but again, if he's out there, sure, why not?
Sure.
He can get the Coors exposure. Ref Snyder 2,800. He's on either lead off or hit third. He does one of the two.
It's crazy.
And he still just hammers lefties. It's just what he does. It just no home runs, but he just does well against them. So, all right, let's build a lineup for the folks at home here, James.
Yeah, let's build.
We need a first baseman. Turner or Abreu?
Yeah, I would say. So I don't know about you, but Tucker, McCormick were the first 2 people I plugged into my line. So I guess it depends on how much Houston exposure you want against your favorite player, Austin Gomber.
I'm probably going Chaz. Did you
want to play
Pena?
Unless we go up to Seager, which we'll be able.
Can we get all these guys? Let's see, Ref Snyder,
Arroyo. then you could easily afford a Brayu, but it just depends on what we're doing at third. Is
What
the
was
problem.
do we have a value?
Oh no, it's so
Really,
ugly. No, it's
didn't
ugly.
really have one. Didn't really.
It doesn't. I don't think it
Well, I
exists.
mean, we go down to from Urias, go to Sandy, and
True.
then we get some cash.
Then it's easy. Then it's easy. Then you can fit whoever you want.
Bregman, and then
Brayu.
4-stack Houston. Tucker, McCormick, Bregman, and Brayu.
It's a 13 game total.
Yeah. And we got Arroyo, Refsnyder, which could be a wraparounder for Boston. Or we've seen Arroyo hit second, we've seen him hit seventh, like he hits all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we're just like one-offing Mia against Gray, and we got Seager as the one-off spend up. So I like it.
I love it too.
So that is our lineup here for this 5-game slate. Why don't you give me 5 games, so we're probably gonna be in sync here. But what's your favorite stack of the day? Is it Houston? We just built it, so I imagine so.
Oh, it's Houston. Yeah. I mean, it's Houston.
If you had to pick a value stack, is there a value stack on this slate?
I mean, I think Boston's going to be a popular secondary stack, but they are cheap. You could play Refsnyder and Arroyo both under.
The Texas outfield's all cheap.
Texas outfield, they're cheap. Who's pitching on this slate? I mean, I'll say it, and I know it's ugly. I would think about playing Colorado.
Okay.
I would. I know I've used Belak before.
I pitched him the other day. He was fine. He was actually cruising, and then he got into a little bit of trouble and ended up losing some fantasy points there. But I think he's a serviceable starter on this slate size. So.
That I'll split the difference here, and I'll go as my contrarian stack. I'm going.
As we're talking about it, Trevor Story beginning his rehab assignment on Friday, so we are
really
close for him to be returning to the Red Sox, and then that'll be a pretty interesting lineup to see how that plays. So.
Yankees are in last, so they're not even in last anymore either.
We're 8 games above 500. We have the 5th best record in the American League, but we're 4th in our division.
4th in division, so, I know.
I mean, I saw headlines: Yankees in dead last. They're 6 games over. Give them a break.
It's insane.
So, anyways, that's our look here. 5 games on a Wednesday. James and I will be back again live 5:00 Eastern. Playbook will be out for the main slate at for 7:00. Get us in the Discord if you have any early slate questions. We'll be there to help you all out. James and I will be back later on. Good luck. We'll talk to you later.